Hello and welcome back to Shawn's Corner. This is the second part of a three-part series, and what we're doing is we're taking the program Excel and we're gathering our exam scores together and getting it to be all calculated for us. In the third part, what we're going to do then is we're going to average out the four different parts of the preliminary exam. That's our exam. That's our example, and get our final grade. It'll make our life a lot easier. So even though this is hard work right now, it'll be well worth it. Let's get on with it then.
Okay, let's see our spreadsheet, our grade sheet really unfold. Um, so we're going to have here three more parts, and then we're going to have the final percentage. And it's going to be a little bit of a process, but it'll take us just a few minutes really, because once you get started, it actually gets easier and easier as you go along. So I've planned this out spatially. I want to put writing up here. I want to put listening down here because there are many sections in listening, just like there is in the reading. There are four, okay. And then I will put speaking, and then I'm going to have down here the final over here. So spatially, I've got it all planned out. This will print out nicely for me all on one page. So I'm going to take and merge these cells. I know I have part 1, part 2. I would like a total, and I would like my percentage. So I'm going to merge these cells. And I'm going to call it writing. And I'm going to bold this. So I've select the letters and bold them, okay. And I want to give it a nice color. I'm going to give it a green. So I go to the little paint can, and I'm going to color it green. Okay. So we've got here reading and writing. I notice that this here, reading's got 16-point font. This one here has 20, so I'm going to bring that down to 16. All right. And now I'm just going to copy this for the sake of time. Copy part 1 and part 2, because there are two parts in the exam. By the way, according to the Cambridge Handbook, there are 20 points on the first one, and they're divided by particular features of the text. You can consult the handbook for that. I'm not going to go into that here. Then there are 20 points for the second part as well, which will give us a total of 40, but we don't write in 40, we're going to actually add them up. So we're going to get that, that calculation programmed in. So here we need to put our total, and here we're going to put our percentage. All right. The totaling is like this. It's going to be a sum. Another way of doing a sum, we saw it one way last time. Another way of doing a sum is going over here to finding the little sigma, and it'll make a sum for you. That's 40. And then the percentage, as we might recall, what we need to do is put in a formula. So the percentage, we'll click on there, is the product of, because product is for multiplication, product of, I don't want all that, no, I just want this one, L4. And the second number will be 1 over 40, as that's the number of points total. This will give me 1, but as we recall, if we find that little percentage sign, we can call it 100%. Okay. So these are the equations, and we cut and paste those equations. Not cut and paste. We copy and paste. Control C, Control V, so that they are now here replicated for all the students. And if you had more students, of course, you'd go further down. So that's writing.
Well, we got the writing in. Let's go on and let's put in the listening.
To get our listening now, we're going to start off by actually doing a little planning here. We're going to put the student names again. So I'm going to leave myself a little bit of a space, maybe 3 or 4 lines. And I'm going to copy those student names down here. Then, above it, like we did before, I'm going to put in my listening here. But I'm going to hold off just 1 second because I want to plan out here how many columns I really need. So therefore, in the preliminary exam, there are 4 parts of listening. So I'm going to put part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I'm going to copy from here just to save a little time. And it goes above. No, it goes with the student name because these are the headers for these things. Then I'm going to put total and percentage, so I might as well just copy this. Total and percentage. And now we're ready to put in the equations, or alternatively we can put in the header, the big header. I'm going to merge those cells, so merge and center, and type in listening. Another little trick. You see how this isn't quite the same as this? Well, what I can do is if you look for a little paintbrush in your ribbon up here, the paintbrush will copy the formatting. So it's kind of like you need to go where you want to go, which is kind of your pot, and then take and dip the paintbrush in there. So you just click on this. That's like dipping it. Now let's copy that formatting, go down here, and put the paintbrush on top of here because it's dipped in the paint, and you've got the same kind of formatting. Now you do want to change the color here. I'm going to give this a nice orange, kind of a light orange, just to have something different so it's very visual. Okay, now we're ready for our equations, but I will put in the point values first. Part 1 is 7 points, part 2 is 6 points, part 3 is 6 points, and part 4 is 6 points, which will give me 25 points, but I'm not going to type that in. Remember, I'm going to put in the sum. So I'll show you the other way again. The sum here would be of B14 to E14. And we'll hit enter, and it gives us 25. Sure enough. Okay, for the percentage, it's going to be the product of, no, not that, the product of this one, F14, and we had 25 points on here, so it would be 1 over 25. Gives us the 1. Once again, I want to make it 100% because 1 is 100%. Great. Okay, I've got this in as well. You see how easy that was. So now I'm going to copy, Control C, and I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to paste these in now. And we have 0, 0%. Okay, that should be right. The formulas have been updated, as you can see. Up here, you see the line number is changing. Okay, so that's all updated. One more part.
And now for the shortest and easiest part, the speaking.
The speaking is going to be very, very easy. We're going to just put in the total of 25 points. You can look at the parameters in the preliminary handbook, but there are 25 points for that. So I'm going to merge this cell. I'm going to type in speaking. Again, I didn't like the formatting, so I go up to the, paintbrush. So here the paintbrush, I need to go first to the listening because that's what I'm going to copy. I click on the paintbrush. Now I go to the speaking and I paint it, but I don't want the color, so I go and give it a different color, which this time I'm going to give it a light gray. Good. Speaking, as I said, was 25 points. I'll put up here total, or actually I'll copy the total and percentage from here to make it fast. Okay. And 25 here is the total points. Here you'll just be entering in the points. There's not going to be a calculation for this total because you'll get it from your assessment. And those again can be, you can make your assessment based on the parameters in the preliminary handbook. Percentage. Click on my function key. And it will be, again, a product of just this number, 5, which is H14, H14 times 1 over 25, which are the number of points we have. And I get 1, and then I do the percentage again. So it's all finished.
Hey, thanks for joining me for this second segment. You can see that it was a lot like the first segment, but what we wanted to really do here was, get it all so it would all appear on one page and kind of figure out how we'd make a layout that was going to be, well, something easy to see all the grades in. And we've got it. So now we just need to see the third segment next week, which will be averaging out the percentages. Thanks for coming to Shawn's Corner, and looking forward to seeing you in the teacher's room. Bye.